Thank you for joining me. I'm Juan, lead trader and founder of ProsperiTrade. In this video, we're going to discuss our portfolio and we're going to take a look on how our portfolio is doing so far this year. You're going to want to stand by. It is down negative 21%. I do have a target of 148 set on it. I'm still bullish. Nothing's changed. If you take a look at their revenue, it's still continuing to grow. In 2018, 143 million up to 434 million in June 2021. They're continuing to grow their revenue. They're making great acquisitions and mergers and putting themselves in positions to be leaders in their industry. So next stock is Sensionics. This one we called out March 16th. It was trading initially at 289. It's currently trading at 388, up 34%. I do have a price target at around $8. If it does reach $8, I'll definitely want to reevaluate. But this is more, I'm waiting for them to first get their 180-day approval in the United States for continuous glucose monitoring. And then a couple years after that, they're 365. It's more of waiting for them to get FDA approval for those continuous glucose monitoring devices. So next stop is MP. MP, we called this out 326. Was trading at 35. It's trading at 32 now. It was up above 35 at one point, but it's down 7% now. I do have a price target on that for 46. They've had great revenue growth. One of the reasons they've had such great revenue growth this year is because of their rare earth oxides, or REO, and the high demand for the REO. Because of the high demand, it's boosted their bottom line, their revenue. But this company has a great future ahead of itself. In the next couple years, they'll be able to manufacture magnets and do a lot of things with their rare earth. So I'm still bullish on this company. Next up is Palantir. We did a video on this on 4/2. It was trading at 23.44, currently trading at 24.87, so it's up 6%. I have a price target of 55. And Palantir is Palantir. There's a lot of information out there. I've already done a few videos on it. My biggest thing with Palantir, I'm waiting for them to transition to become a B2C company. I've said this several times. I've seen some of their technology geared towards smaller businesses as opposed to government and huge corporations. So I think that's one of the steps of becoming a more B2C company. They're going to start off with the little companies, and hopefully one day it'll be sold to just regular consumers. When that happens, then I think they're going to see massive growth. Next ticker is GOLD, gold. This is staying in my portfolio. This is more of a hedge play. So we have gold climbing up above 1,800 an ounce. So you see the article here. This is why I picked gold and had it there for so long. I don't expect it to spike up. I don't expect anything. But if the dollar crashes and gold continues to climb like this, then this play will also go up. Next ticker is SMTI. So I immediately fell in love with this company. I think that they have the potential of being one of the top companies in their field. They specialize in wound care management, and they have a great management team. So we made a video on this on May 14th. It was trading at 23. Now it's at 34. It was as high as 41 or 43 at one point. So it's up 47% since our initial call. And I have a price target of $46 on this. Next is Dnmr. This has been a company that I initially, when I did my due diligence, I really liked what they were doing. They're trying to create biodegradable straws, biodegradable cups, all types of biodegradable items, which goes perfect with the green initiative and the green narrative. So I thought they were going to fit perfectly. I liked what their science behind it. They were talking about producing items that can be dumped in the ocean. So they have all this science, and then they had a terrible lawsuit that followed them that caused the price to drop drastically. So you see here a 620, we called it out at 23, and it was lower than 18. It was, I think the low was down to almost 15, 14. So it's still down 19%. I'm still bullish on this, and I do have a price target of $38 for Dnmr. AMD was a leap option that we did. We called this out at 74, sold it at 106 for a 42% gain. SMLR was the latest due diligence video I did. I did it on 7/6. Initially called it at 114. There's support around 102, 100. If it drops that low, I would love to get in that position even more. SMLR, I think, is a great company. Their financials are excellent. I did a video on SMLR. Basically, they're diagnosing peripheral artery disease, which can cause stroke or heart attacks if undetected. Please make sure you click on the link above if you want to watch more on SMLR. So overall for the year, we're up 72%. Now let's take a quick look at my swing trades. And I've gotten quite a bit of popularity with some of my swing trades, a lot of recognition from other YouTubers. And I've only done a few, but you see they're all green. I did NEO, it went up 10%. BLRX went up 90%. SRNE, 18%. DARE, 34%. CARA, CARA, which was my latest one, got in at 12.15, sold at 15, but that one went all the way up to 19. I set a price target at 14.80. So once it hit 15, I took my shares. PDD went from 91 to 95, up 4%. So total, if you jumped in on all my swing trades, you would be up 159%. That's it for the recap. So if you look at the tab down here, you see a tab for value plays, and that's my next project. I'm basically trying to look for undervalued stocks, companies with great fundamentals, free cash flow, not an outrageous PE. I don't want to overpay for anything. Just companies basically that are worth $1 that I can buy for 50 or 60 cents. So that's the goal. So far, I found a few companies. I've done DCFs, and I'm doing my own due diligence. And when I present the video, I'm gonna just name the company. I'm gonna mention what they're trading at and what my price target is and why I feel they're undervalued. And I have a few companies so far, like Best Buy, VALE, Intel, MU. So those are just a couple of the companies. I'm also working on my next swing trade. I don't like to call out 50 swing trades, and if 25 of them or 30 of them hit, you know, I just emphasize the 30 that I hit and say, oh, look at how great these 30 did. But the 20 that I lost can sometimes outweigh all my gains. So if you see the tab that I showed you, I only had one red swing trade, and the other ones amassed for over 150% in potential profit. And that's that we left profit on the table. The last one I did, CARA, I got in at 12.20. I had a plan. I mentioned my plan. I mentioned my intention. I had an exit strategy. So if it dropped, you know, which is bound to happen, there's no way I'm going to, you know, there's no way anyone can be perfect, not have any stocks that go the wrong way. But I had an exit strategy. So I knew my loss and I knew the potential gain. And I mentioned the loss, which was 11 something, and I mentioned the gain, which was 14.80. So you were sacrificing or you were risking $1 to make $2.50, which was a good risk to reward ratio. Then the day before they were going to make their FDA announcement, if they received FDA approval for their itching medication, I went on and made a video and mentioned that this is my plan. This is how I'm approaching. I'm looking pre-market for the pre-market spike, because usually these companies, they announce their news pre-market, and then they spike, and then they usually kind of just retrace. I went on live pre-market. It reached our price target. I sold about 20 cents above my price target, and then it crashed, and then it dropped. But then after hours is when they announced their FDA approval, and it spiked all the way to 19. So I was already out at that point. I went with what was the most probable, which is what you have to do in investing, because after market announcing news and spiking to 19, if we have the same situation 100 times, that might happen less than 5 or 10% of the time. The majority of the time, what would happen is what I mentioned. Pre-market, they announce the news, there's a spike. You were already in position. You were in there a while ago. So take your profit and then let it crash, and you've completed your swing trade. So that's what we do here at ProsperiTrade. We like to be a part of every aspect of the stock market. We like to invest. We like to day trade. We like to swing trade. We like to do options. So if you like this content, please consider subscribing, commenting, and liking. Thank you, and see you on the next video.